There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
The clinical trial market as we know it is about to change. We're revolutionizing the current state aligned to disparate, slow, and often manual processes. Optum's vision is to transform the drug development process to one that is centered and grounded in real-world patient behavior and physician practice. Optum's ability to access this unique network and fold in the strongest data and analytics expertise will enable us to jointly bring life-saving drugs to the patients who need it most. Join us in this partnership to bring our shared vision for real-time, real-world healthcare research for real patients.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Live at St. Paul University, Manila. So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, FactSet, and ADP. So before we start, may we invite everybody for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Let us now pray the Paulinian prayer. God, our loving Father, you called us to participate in your saving mission and to make you known and loved throughout the world. We thank you for our Paulinian identity that inspires us to be like Christ and to walk in the truth. Help us to stand firm in our daily struggle to live our Christocentric Paschal spirituality. Forgive our failures to witness to your compassionate love and to surrender to your holy will. Grant us the grace to grow in your love for the good of the Church and the service of neighbor, and to remain faithful to you through your Son, Jesus Christ, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. Mary, our Mother and Model, pray for us. Saint Paul, our patron, pray for us. Father Louis Chevet and the First Sisters, intercede for us. May the love of Christ impel us, now and forever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good morning, Polinians.
Okay, so again, welcome everyone. Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Ready na ba kayo? By the way, my name is Joyce from jobs180.com. I will be your today's host, and we are live, guys, via Jobs180 Facebook and, of course, Jobs180 YouTube. So we hope that everybody is excited to learn new things today. So to officially start today's session, may we invite Mr. AJ Agoho, the Guidance Services Coordinator, for the opening remarks.
Good afternoon to our University President, Sister Maria Evangeline Anastasio, SPC, and her council, academic team, staff, and graduating students of St. Paul University, Manila. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to our webinar this afternoon. This activity is in collaboration with our industry partner, Jobs180.com. It aims to orient graduating students on the basic job hunting and employability skills in today's new normal world of work. This also aims to help in this transition phase, which is critical to our graduating students' life. They must be able to adjust in the new world that they are going to enter, which is building a career. Specifically, the subtopics of this career education webinar are online applications, hiring in the new normal, and answering interview questions. Let this be an opportunity for all of us to learn and relearn necessary skills in this new normal world of work. Thank you and enjoy this webinar.
All right, thank you so much, Sir AJ. Maraming salamat po for collaborating again with Jobs 180. Okay, so as usual, for our audience today, for the Paulinians, please comment your name, your year, and your course. Again, for the Paulinians, please comment your name, your year, and your course. And if you have questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. Okay, so don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. And kung wala pa sila dito, tawagin nyo na. Kasi nakakapanghinayang naman if mamimiss nila itong opportunity na to. This is once in a lifetime. So might grab the opportunity. Okay? So here is our schedule for today. So we have the online applications which will be discussed by jobs180.com. And then hiring in the new normal by FactSet and answering interview questions by ADT Philippines. So again, shout out to everyone who's here now. Please comment your name, your year and your course, Polinians. And as we go along, sabi ko nga, type in your questions so we can read it later. Huwag kayong mahiya. This is your chance to ask, guys, before you face the real adulting thing or the world of work. Alright? So, kilalanin na po natin ang ating unang speaker. Okay, so he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business process development, customer service, operations, and human resources. And as a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. The managing director of jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
Everyone, allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No? Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag nating resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number one, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at doon ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, meron kang kapangalan. Okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot. Pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kina-account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes, if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating pa sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo yung dalawa. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Chabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. No, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, i-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng ganun kasi mga sample na profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Yung sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na akit bahay gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pag nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo at oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi yung dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo napapabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR napapabilis because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Di ba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? That's yung ibig ko sabihin. Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay ito Paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante lang ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid, secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now, we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? ang sagot dito hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Hindi balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Alright, so thank you so much, Sir Kim. Maraming salamat po. Okay, for Paulinians, if you have questions, the table is now open for questions, so you may now ask Sir Kim. Yan, kung may question kayo regarding resume link. And for St. Paul, hindi naman nabago ang resume link. Pero syempre, sa mga estudyante natin ngayon, graduating, I believe, first time marinig si resume link. So if you have questions, please, huwag kayong mahiya. Sa comment section, pwede nyo pong ipasok yan. Okay. So, habang naghihintay tayo ng question from audience, Sir Kim, para po sa mga estudyante na kapapasok lang. No? So, sum it up lang. Ayan. So, ano po ang benefits ng pagkakaroon ng resume link, especially for the graduating students?
Okay. So, to summarize the key points, why you should create your resume link or why the school will be eventually requiring you to make your resume link sa Jobs on 80, these are the reasons. Number one, when you create your resume link, regardless kung anong year level ka, freshman ka man, sophomore, third year, graduate ka na or graduating pa lang, no, even senior high school, the reasons are the following. Number one, ito yung benefit. You will be getting possible job matches. So, ang maganda dito is kung anong profile yung sinet up mo, doon kayo ma-match ng system ni Jobs on 80 sa mga companies na naghahanap ng same profile. So with that, you don't have to go through, door to door. Hindi mo na kailangan pumunta sa isa-isa pang mga kumpanya para lang mag-submit ng mga physical application nyo or kahit hindi physical, kahit na online application, hindi mo kailangan isa-isahin yan na nagbabakasakali ka. This time around, baliktad eh. You'll be getting those notification, meaning to say, kahit papaano, nag-match ka na sa profile or hinahanap nila sa requirement nila. Now, it is up to you if you want to entertain or hindi those possible job notification. Now, the other advantage or benefit of creating one of this resume link is that you'll be getting invitations din sa mga future events ng alma mater nyo. So sa St. Paul University Manila, in the future, in the coming weeks or months, kung meron po tayong mga webinars kaya na ginagawa natin ngayon, pati na rin po yung mga virtual career fairs. Later on, we will be having some virtual career fairs for the graduating batch specifically. Then you'll be getting the invitation. So ang maganda dyan, ikaw pa rin ang magde-decide if you want to entertain or not, no? So kung ayaw mo makigulo, ayaw mo maki-entertain nga sa mga invitation na yan, then you don't just disregard. Pero ang maganda, you'll be getting those notification. And that's the reason why I highly recommend you create one. No? Now in terms of yung preference nyo naman, kayo naman magde-decide kung sino ang a-applyan or sino gusto nyo bigyan ng information. No? So, it's more to gain and nothing to lose. That's how I look at it. Okay?
All right.
There.
So, Sir Kim, we have a question from the audience. So, from Miss Angelica Ansarano. So, Mr. Kim, will I still be able to submit a resume without meeting the qualifications of the company? Like, if wala po akong work experience, pwede po ba ganun?
Thank you, Ma'am Angelica, for that question. Marami sa mga aplikante ngayon, ito iniisip nila. No? Hindi ako nag-match sa profile. Hindi ako nag-match sa requirements ng company. I don't have, in your case, I don't have work experience. No? And the company is looking for someone with at least, in my example nga kanina, sa Toko, kung napakinggan mo, sabi ko, may company naghanap 3 years experience. Ikaw, wala kang experience kahit na 1 month. Wala. Kahit nga 1 day, wala. Example, kasi walang OJT, walang anything. So, does that mean you're not qualified? Now, at that moment, malamang oo, hindi ka talaga qualified pa. Kasi nilagay na nila sa requirement nila that they're looking for someone with at least 3 years of experience. Pero it should not be a reason para hindi ka mag-submit ng resume link mo. And that's the beauty of this resume link. The reason why you create your resume link and submit that to that company kahit na hindi ka qualified is because pwede ka makonsider sa iba pang mga possible job opportunities nila in the near future, maybe. Diba? And not just near future, maybe in the next coming months or next coming years, in the next 3 years time, pag meron ka ng 3 years experience, pwede ka na ma-consider doon sa ina-apply mo talagang posisyon na 3 years ang kailangan. O, di ba? So, yung maganda ngayon is to answer your question, straightforward lang ako sa tanong mo, sa sagot sa tanong mo, is you can apply to companies, basta gusto mo apply yung kumpanya, gusto mo pasukan yung posisyon na yon, kahit na hindi ka pa qualified, bigay mo yung resume link mo. Okay? So, yun yun. Walang nothing to lose, more to gain. Yan. And at any point,
Ayan.
pwede mo palit-palitin yung information mo, yung pwede mo i-update, real-time update yan. Diba? From your end. Okay? So I hope na-answer ko yung tanong mo, Ma'am Angelica.
Ayan, thank you so much, Miss Angelica, for asking question. Ayan, so guys, ayan, if you have questions, huwag kayong mahiya. And of course, Sir Kim, narinig natin kanina, isang kagandahan ng pagkaroon ng resume link ay yung notification mismo. So, through your resume link, guys, hindi nyo na kailangan mag-open pa ng another email to see kung in-invite ba kayo ng company. Kasi sa resume nyo mismo, makikita nyo mismo yung invitation, kung anong ginawa sa inyo, paano pre-process yung inyong application. So, tama ba ako, Sir Kim?
Tama yan, Ma'am Joyce. When you log into your dashboard, so nag-login ka sa Jobs on 80 resume link account nyo, makikita nyo doon parang summary ng mga iba-ibang kumpanyang in-applyan mo. Syempre, in-applyan mo. Pag hindi mo in-applyan, walang feedback na status doon. Diba? So kung nag-submit ka, na example, to 10 companies, and you will be seeing there sa 10 companies na yun, ano yung current status nila, pinaprocess ka na ba nila doon sa yung application. Now, on that note, I also was reminded lang about email. Nabanggit kasi ni Ma'am Joyce about email. If you have used or if you're using your school issued email address, baka lang kasi sa St. Paul University Manila ay nag-i-issue ng school official email address for each one of you provided by the school. If ever lang, you may use that to register because it is a valid email. Pero paalala ko lang, before you graduate, or hangga't maaari, wag mo na siyang gamitin. Gamitin mo na lang personal email mo. So that later on, when you graduate, and I'm sure you will graduate sooner or later, gagraduate ka rin. Baka kasi makalimutan mo na i-update yung email, yung bagong email mo or yung personal email mo at mapadala yung mga notification doon sa official school email address mo. Na kung later on, hindi mo na siya nagagamit, hindi mo na rin marireceive yung mga notification na ipapadala sa inyo. Okay? So, paalala lang, kung hindi pa kayo gumagamit ng any email address to register for your resume link, then please use your personal email address. Okay? Now, if ever lang nagamit mo na yung school official email address ninyo, then you might want to edit it na the soonest possible time para hindi mo na makalimutan yung pagpalit ninyo ng email address nyo to your personal email address. Okay? Yun lang. Paalala lang po.
Ayan. And of course, Sir Kim, nabanggit din kanina na we can apply po sa mga companies na hindi kilala sa Jobs 180.
Yes.
Paano posible?
Okay. So, ang dami nating paraan paano tayo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya. 'Di ba? Marami. Hindi ko na isa-isa niyan. Alam niyo naman paano kayo mag-apply. Now, instead of giving your traditional type of resumes, say a Word file or doc file, 'di ba, or PDF file, 'di ba, kung ano man 'yung file na 'to, instead of giving that file to the company or a hard copy, for instance, a hard copy to a company, instead of doing that, ibigay mo na lang resume link mo. Diba? If you want to text that resume link, you want to email, you still send the email pero walang attachment. Ang nakalagay na lang doon, yung pinaka-resume link na i-type mo na lang doon sa body ng email mo, ng letter mo. Diba? Doon yan ipapadala nyo. Now, if you go to the office physically, ganun din. No? You can walk in and not bring anything. Diba? So, pag tinanong ka ng receptionist or ng HR later on, pag meron ng face-to-face, tinanong kayo, so you're applying, do you have a resume? Or you can just simply write it doon sa registration form. Yan na po yung information ko, ma'am. Or kung gusto talaga nila ng hard copy, edi sulat mo sa maliit na papel. Diba? And then submit that small piece of paper. Sabi mo, yan na po yung aking resume. Diba? Yan na po yung resume link ko. So, ang maganda ron is you can control your privacy settings. So, kampante ka na kahit nalipa rin yan ng hangin, yun nga, in my example earlier sa Toko, kahit lipa rin ng hangin yan, ikaw pa rin may control ng privacy settings mo. So, hindi basta-basta lang may makapulot niyan at makakita ng buong details nyo kasi kayo may control ng information nyo. So, there. So, you can see a lot of benefits no, when using your resume link. Okay?
All right. So yeah,
Ayan.
thank you so much, Sir Kim. So if you do not have any questions, guys, so one last ano lang, Sir Kim, advice for the graduating students.
Okay, advice ko is when you're seeing the thing that's scrolling right now, kung nakikita nyo, may nakalagay dyan, schools with an S,
Mm-hmm.
schools.jobs180.com/SPU Manila. Yung link na yon, tingnan nyo, yan, nakascroll. Oh. Basahin nyo na lang. No? schools.jobs180.com/SPU Manila. Puntahan nyo yan. Tingnan nyo yung mga companies, explore, nothing to lose. Diba? If you see any company you'd like to apply or any companies, kung marami, any of those companies you want to apply to, you just submit your resume link to them. Now, shout out lang ako. No? You can check out also FactSet at saka si ADP Philippines. We also invited them to share something here in the seminar today, in the webinar today. So, yan, explore nyo sila. Alright? Yun yung
Ayan.
mga advice ko. Ayan. Thank
All right.
you.
So thank you so much, Sir Kim. Maraming salamat po. So
Thank you. Bye-bye.
guys, kung gusto niyo balikan ang ating resume link topic, okay, so pwede niyo pong balikan yan through jobs180.com Facebook page or YouTube page. We also have a YouTube page. So ayan, so you might check it out. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Po.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right. So again, guys, if you have questions, huwag kayong hiya. Please put them on the comment section para mabasa natin at para ma-address natin lahat ng questions na yan. All right. So let's proceed with our next topic for today. So we have the talent acquisition specialist from FactSet. So a seasoned HR professional with 13 years of experience in recruitment and account management, from sourcing talents, conducting interviews, the job offer, and onboarding. Our presenter for hiring the new normal topic, Ms. Larise Risho. Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon po.
Joyce, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, can we test for your share screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's
There, you
loading
can see
po.
my screen.
All right, so ma'am, it's up po. So if you're ready, ma'am, I'll see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A po. Good luck.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Miss Joyce. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Well, first to the jobs180.com team, thank you so much for having us here. And also to the Paginians who are here this afternoon, thank you for your time as well. So today, I'll be discussing hiring in the new normal. But before that, I would like to give you a brief introduction about our organization. So, as you can see on your screen, right, so FactSet Philippines for the Manila office, what I'll be discussing is some facts or information about FactSet, what we do, what we offer, and who we're looking for. There. So first, what is FactSet? So FactSet creates flexible, open data and software solutions for tens of thousands of investment professionals all over the world. So providing instant, anytime, anywhere access to financial data and analytics that investors use to make crucial business decisions. So we have, as of today, 95% client retention, and there are 138,000 users globally, 10,000 employees all over the globe, in 22 countries, and we've been in the business for over 40 years. So basically, we handle data analytics for investment professionals so they could make the best investment decisions. There. And just to quickly share with you our core values. So as big as we grow, as far as we reach, and as successful as we become, we stay connected to our clients and to each other. So who we are. So we are an inclusive community unified by the FactSet spirit of going above and beyond. Our best ideas can come from anyone, anywhere, at any time. And this is how we work. We roll up our sleeves to solve tough problems together. We learn from our successes and our failures, and we continually push each other to do better. And lastly, what we promise. So we continuously look ahead to advance the future of our industry. We relentlessly seek value for our clients because their success is also our success. Yeah. And also, just to add, diversity and inclusion is one of the things we value at FactSet. And our leaders have always emphasized that our best ideas, as I mentioned, can come from anyone, anywhere, and at any time. And as a global company with nearly 10,000 employees coming from different generations, cultures, social backgrounds, and life preferences, it is vital that each of us know how to grow across our differences. All right, so what does FactSet do exactly? So, well, again, we are a financial data and software company that also provides software as a service. So, here in Manila, we have teams who gather different data, all related and affecting the stock markets globally. So, that's under content collection. Next is software engineering. So, all those data, we transform them and integrate them into our software. So, software is our main product, and this is what our clients subscribe to. And then lastly, we have service and support. So, our clients that we support are banks, investment companies, portfolio managers, and various financial organizations globally. So, we help them optimize the use of their software in order for them to make better investment decisions. There. So here are our Manila teams. So under content collection, we have the FactSet fundamentals, waivers content, deep sector, and the wealth SBU or strategic business unit. Under software engineering, we have content engineering and the risk content engineering. And then lastly, under service and support, we have analytics SBU, client and user support, sales engineering, and human resources. And you might wonder, what can FactSet offer to you as an employee should you decide to explore career opportunities with us and let's say you get hired as one of our employees? Here's what we can offer. So first, well, we have the retirement plan, which is the Provident Fund program, wherein 100% match our company match up to 4% of annual base salary. Second is we have the comprehensive medical, dental, and vision care and life accident insurance. And we also have our health and wellness program. So we have sports fest, clubs, wellness talks, education, and events. Also, gym and yoga membership as part of your benefits. We have the nutrition drive, team and company social events, etc. We also have, well, unlike with other companies who provide minimal paid time off, here at FactSet we have 30 days paid off for the entire year. So that can be used either as vacation leave or sick leave. Yeah. And then we have the parental leaves and maternity benefits, of course. We also encourage our leaders to attend professional and leadership development trainings. And we also have performance based bonuses and referral bonuses. Another benefit that you will enjoy for sure, especially during the pandemic, is our free shuttle services for employees and applicants. So we have our door to door service wherein employees will be picked up straight from their home and will be brought to the office. And then going home, they will be picked up from the office and brought straight to their doorstep back home. There. And then we have the CFA certification incentives and financial assistance, corporate social responsibility programs. Well, once we go back to working on site, we will be able to again enjoy the benefits of free beverages and snacks. We also have the monthly merienda, rice allowance, and other allowances. And then on top of these benefits, we also have other perks like gifts for significant events, holiday gift certificates, and tokens. There. So, uh, aside from our very competitive salary package, these are the benefits that we offer to all our employees. Okay, and I would just like to give you a very quick virtual tour of our new office. So, you see here the FactSet One the Grand Tower in McKinley West in BGC Taguig. It's a new building. It was inaugurated in 2020. However, very few employees have set foot in it for now, including myself. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to when we return to work on site. Yeah. So um, our 2,000 Manila-based employees are still growing. We started in 2009 here in Manila. It's been more than 10 years now, and we are still growing. And you can see here the FactSet One the Grand Tower reception area. This is where walk-in applicants can sign up. And then lastly, this is our auditorium on the left, and then on the right side, those are our interview rooms. Okay, so that's it for the introduction about FactSet Philippines. Now I'll be discussing how it has been for us hiring in the new normal. So I would like to share with you a recent study conducted by LinkedIn.com because right now the global market or the global talent market has never changed this much this quickly. So they call it the Great Reshuffle, where it's a time when everyone is rethinking everything. So as employees reconsider where they work and why, employees are recalibrating their talent needs and company culture as well. So it's actually been a learning process for all of us, for everyone involved. And what I'm about to share with you will help you understand the biggest changes since COVID began. So you'll see how trends are driving changes in people's attitudes, what employers are looking for, and the skills needed to unlock success in the Southeast Asia's talent markets. So this study was conducted globally, but what I'll be focusing on today is the trends in Southeast Asia. There. So uh, according to the study, these are what the talents, which is you, these are what the talents want. So the most important priorities for candidates overall in Southeast Asia are excellent compensation and benefits. Of course, we all want the best compensation and benefits package. Second is good work-life balance, colleagues and culture, open and effective management, and of course, job security. So growing priorities for Southeast Asia talent include having control of their time, basically. So having flexible work arrangements and better commutes, like reflecting the upsides discovered during periods of working from home. And then also, these are the fastest growing priorities of talents or candidates since COVID. So first is employees' autonomy. So employee autonomy, it refers to the freedom of employees to have or to decide how, including when and where they do their work. So meaning it's more output based and results driven. And then second is flexible work arrangements, which has increased by 14.8%. Third is good work-life balance, which has increased to 10.4%. And an inclusive workplace, up by 8.7%. And then lastly is convenient commute to work, which has increased by 7.6%. So culture changes need to follow policy changes as well, so that employees don't feel burned out from a never-ending digital workday. And then, of course, also the employers have certain needs from talents or candidates. So these employers they demand for certain roles, which is rising very fast, particularly with the following positions. So these are the jobs with the fastest growing demand. First, software engineers. Demand has increased 4 times since COVID began. And as you would know, more businesses need help in going digital because digital transformation was accelerated by the pandemic as all companies had to adapt to survive. So, while digitally native tech companies were likely ready to use tech solutions to facilitate remote work, many others in sectors like travel, entertainment, they had to rapidly evolve and adopt to new technologies. Second, there you have the customer service representative roles, which has increased by 3 times. Product managers that increased twice as much. Same thing with business development managers and full stack engineers. There. So you might wonder how has FactSet Philippines adapted, or how are we hiring in the new normal? So fortunately, the pandemic did not stop FactSet Philippines from hiring great talents. Basically, the recruitment process turned digital. So HR interviews, technical interviews, and hiring manager interviews, including job offer and new employee orientation, are now done through Microsoft Teams or online. Of course, we don't want our candidates to have to sacrifice like commuting and getting exposed um, to COVID 19 just to apply. So, what we're now doing is they're conducting interviews online or over the phone. And then, second, we now use live coding platforms like CodePair and CodeShare for our tech interviews. And we have our online requirements fair every Thursday for new employees who need to submit their pre-employment requirements. And lastly, submission of documents is now done through Workday. And then for our employees, here are the adjustments that we have made. So work from home setup for employees. So laptops are provided to employees and they are delivered to their doorsteps. Second is the monthly internet allowance to help support you, of course, to get the best connection uh, as we would like to empower our employees to have the still the best services or internet service even if they're working from home. And then we also have a one-time equipment stipend, which are given to new employees to help them set up their home office. And then next, we have the door-to-door shuttle services for those working on site. And this, I would just like to highlight the mental health support through our employee assistance program. So, the Employee Assistance Program or EAP is intended to assist with early intervention to everyday challenges by providing access to a network of professionals. So, it provides professional, confidential support services and programs, including counseling for employees and members of immediate families. This is in an effort to help with common life issues affecting mental and emotional well being of our employees. So it could be about relationships, family problems, stress at work or at home, anxiety, or health issues there. And then lastly, we have a lot of initiatives for women in tech. And just to mention one of them, we actually offer a sign on bonus For female candidates who are hired for our tech roles. There. So, who are we looking for exactly? So, we're looking for effective communicators, analytical problem solvers, those with strong desire to grow and learn, excellent interpersonal skills, and proven ability to work on teams, and those with a bachelor's degree in computer or business or any related field of study. So, obviously, we're looking for you. The qualities about you are what brought us out for this event, of course. There. And I would like to share with you some of our open tech opportunities for you, or if you know anyone who are looking for career opportunities in tech. These are our vacancies. So we have a lot of vacancies for software engineers, levels 1, 2, and 3. We're also looking for software engineer interns. Also, vacancies for senior software engineers, associate product managers, associate director for engineering, software architects, associate support specialists, systems business analyst, and senior product manager. So you would notice that these are all tech roles. Well, that is because I'm a technical recruiter. That's why I took the opportunity to promote our vacancies in tech. But I would like to encourage you to visit our website for a complete list of our vacancies. And basically, our application process is straightforward. So after you submit your application on our website, you'll undergo the HR interview, and then there's the technical interview and final interviews, which are all done online or through Microsoft Teams. There you go. Please connect with us through through our website, of course. So that's www.factset.com/careers, and you may email us at manila.recruiting@factset.com. And also, I highly encourage you to follow us on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Okay, there you go. So thank you so much again, everyone, for your time this afternoon. Thank you so much for having us here. And well, if you have any questions or clarifications, then the floor is yours.
All right. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much po. Guys, if you have questions, okay, so pwede na mag-ask ng questions. Huwag kayong mahiya. Okay? So this is your chance, sabi ko nga. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Mukhang a-answer naman ng in Tagalog si
Yes,
Since
yes.
release today.
That's fine.
Ayan. So ma'am, while waiting for questions po from Polinian,
Sure.
so I have question here. So, um, eto, medyo curious po talaga ako simula when the pandemic started po. Does or the volume of applicants po ba increases during pandemic or decreases since mostly work from home po and others do not have the means talaga or equipment to work from home po?
Okay. Well, actually, as I mentioned earlier, when the pandemic started, FactSet Philippines did not stop hiring. So there wasn't much change in the volume of applicants as well as the vacancies that are open. Only the difference now is that there's more demand for
Mhm.
tech related roles and roles that or jobs that can be done from the comfort of their own homes. And I would also say that there's also an increased demand of employees who prefer to really work from home permanently there.
And is it harder po ba to reach out to these applicants today or parang
Mm.
mas easier since ano naman po, kasi 'di ba mostly po work from homes na. So yun.
Mm-mm. Well, yes. Well, actually, the challenge with us is that candidates or talents, they they really prefer to work from home
Mhm,
permanently.
mm.
Fortunately for us at FactSet, we offer a work from home setup, although it's temporary because eventually everyone will be reporting back on site. So
Mm-mm.
then we also adjust our work setup according to the needs of the talents.
And what are the common challenges po you encountered with the employees po working from home today? Or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess I could share my personal experience as an
Mm-hmm.
employee. My number
Okay.
one challenge is the internet connection, which I think a lot of people would be able to relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, as an employee, you just have to be self motivated because it's really different working from home and working with your colleagues, seeing your colleagues
Mm-mm.
face
Yes,
to
ma'am.
face in the office. So those are the minor adjustments. But basically, still, well, we've gotten used to it because we've been working from home for the past 2 years. So it's almost like a normal thing for us to work from home.
Yes, alright. Thank you, ma'am. Of course, lahat po tayo ng internet connection and since nasa Philippines tayo, sobrang common na lang talaga nung problem na yun. Yes, and,
Mm-mm.
of course, ma'am, eto mga fresh graduates natin, or graduating students, siyempre first time nila, first application and, at hindi lahat ng first application ay talagang pasok agad, 'di ba? So, you will have your rejections. First rejection bukod sa kung ano mang rejection na 'yan. And what would be your tips po on rejection? Kasi some applicants do not have ano po eh, good coping mechanisms po, 'di ba? Ito yung mga takot
Mm.
ma-reject, konting rejection lang, parang nada-down sila. So, what would be your ano po, tips or advice for this
Okay.
tips? Ayan.
Okay. Yes, that's a really good question. Well, of course, rejection, andyan talaga siya. I mean, you don't always get hired for every position that you applied for.
Mm.
So it would be good. Let's say, for example, you receive a notification that you are not selected for a certain role. It would be good to request for feedback from
Mhm.
the hiring managers or from the recruiter, so you would know the areas that you need to improve on para sa next interview mo, ready ka na. And also, it would be good to really do some research about the company prior to the interview, and to take note then pala of the positions that you applied for. Kasi minsan yung mga candidates apply sila ng apply, which is really good actually kasi um, sabi nga, more chances of winning kapag
Mm.
marami ka applications. But it would be good also to track yung mga applications mo para when you receive a call, um, parang hindi ka magugulat na, nag-apply ba ako dito sa company na to? Para ready ka rin. And then in case nga na ma-reject ka with that company, take it as a challenge and as an opportunity to improve. Yeah.
Yes, and of course, ma'am, also question is, once you get rejected, is it possible to apply for the same position?
Yes, definitely. At FactSet Philippines, we do allow candidates to reapply for the same role after six
Mm-mm.
months.
Alright. So, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Sir Angelo, sabi niya, I found FactSet after two other companies. Ayan, totoo naman kasi hindi naman agad-agad na first application naman. Well, kung ano ka talaga, lucky ka talaga, 'di ba? Ayan, so ayan. So ma'am, advice na lang po for the graduating students before we end our session.
Okay. Well, for all the graduating students, well, first of all, I highly encourage you to not hesitate to explore career opportunities, even if we are in the middle of a pandemic. Kasi maraming opportunities from work from home jobs if you're not comfortable to go out there and commute and work face to face with your colleagues. Second is, as I mentioned earlier, if you get rejected, that's totally fine. For wala pa akong kilala na candidate na or employee na hindi pa na-reject before for a certain role that they applied for. So it really happens. You just have to take it as an opportunity to improve. Um, and third, I would like to wish everyone good luck as you explore job opportunities. Maraming career opportunities, Jan. You just have to know exactly where to look. And of course, FactSet Philippines has a lot of vacancies for tech roles and also non-technical roles. I encourage you to visit our website. And you can also go to jobs180.com slash FactSet Careers to submit your Jobs 180 resume link.
All right. So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much po for joining us today. We wish to have you po on our next set of webinars. So ingat po. Thank
All
you,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Miss
much for being
Joyce. Thanks,
participating po.
everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. So to know more about FactSet, so you may visit jobs180.com slash FactSet Careers. Again, to know more about FactSet Careers, so you may visit jobs180.com slash FactSet Careers. Again, so you may send your resume links na. Okay. So let's proceed with our last topic for today. So answer interview questions. So we have the HR business partner of ADP Philippines. So Miss Kat, um, has been with ADP for 9 years and 5 months. She is currently an HR business partner, but also has a decade of experience in training, excuse me, and development. So her most noticeable achievement career-wise is her certification in New Jersey to facilitate MDP or Managed Development Program. Miss Kat was married in Istanbul to her Turkish husband in 2017. She is an animal advocate and has 4 beautiful dogs. Wow. So again, the HR business partner of ADP Philippines, Miss Kat Herrera. Hi, Miss Kat. Good afternoon po.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for
Afternoon.
having us today.
Thank you so much also, Miss Kat. Miss Kat, can we test by your share screen?
Sure, absolutely. Give me a moment here. Is it working, Joyce? Can you see my screen?
It's loading po.
It's loading.
Up. Yes, it's up. Can you put it on full screen po?
How about now? Are you able
Right,
to see it?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's up po. So I'll see you po after 20 minutes for the Q&A, ma'am. Good luck po.
Great, thank you, Joyce. Hi, everyone. As Joyce mentioned, my name is Kat. I'm Kat Herrera, and I'm one of the HR business partners here at ADP. Today, we're going to talk about something that probably is very interesting to you, especially for future job seekers, and that is how to ace your interviews. Because even if you have all the knowledge in the world, even if you're the best when it comes to your technical knowledge, there are so many factors about acing interviews that you have to think of and consider so that you will have a wonderful interview. Before we start, let me just give you a brief background of what ADP is. ADP is really, in a nutshell, a human capital management company, and mostly we handle our clients' HR services such as payroll, compensation, benefits, and the like. So we provide those services over the phone, and later, if I have time or if we have extra time, I will be showing you some facts and figures about ADP because I really want to make sure that we have that we can touch everything on this topic for acing interviews. And just to give you an idea of how great ADP is as a company, I'd just like to tell you that I've been here at ADP for 10 years, actually more than 10 years. My 10th anniversary was last September. So can you imagine staying in a company that long? Wow, right? Later, I will try to show you our achievements and awards, but today, or right now, let's focus on how to ace your interviews because I really believe that this topic would be so beneficial and helpful for everyone in this call. Right? So let's talk about today the tips on how the audience or you guys may be better equipped for future job interviews. And of course, we will identify the interview guidelines. On our agenda, we have the fears and anxiety, some quick remedies for you, relaxation techniques, selection funnel, interview tips. I'm not sure if you are all familiar with the STAR method, but we're going to talk about that as well, and some words to avoid, including final tips. So hold on to your seat and put your thinking caps on as we go to our first topic. Common interview fears, right? If I ask you, how do you feel about your future job search? You might say, actually, Kat, I'm a bit apprehensive about it. I don't know if I have the skill set. I don't know if I'm going to do well with the interviews. And that's okay. That's but natural. Here are some of the common interview fears that applicants have. being underprepared. But you know what? One thing I would like to tell you is that these things are actually within your control. There are ways to mitigate that. Being underprepared, that's actually, there's no excuse for that anymore, right? Because nowadays, at the moment, we're still recruiting virtually, and you have all the time in the world to prepare for your interviews. If it happens that when you apply for jobs, it's already face to face, it's all the same. Being prepared is one of the best things that you can do because it also shows your commitment, right? It shows that you really want this job if you are very prepared. And like my colleague at ADP always say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. How do you prepare? You do mock calls even before your real interview. And the beauty of this is that today I'm going to show you what the STAR method is and some of the questions that might be asked and how to answer them. So now you will have an idea of what questions to prepare for, right? General anxiety, again, that's very understandable. It's your first time, after all. Being overqualified, please do not fear that. There's no such thing as overqualified. If you really want the job, then you are qualified for it. Making a bad impression, how would you make a bad impression? Normally, it's just one thing. If you are, I guess two things. If you are underprepared or if you are rude. Please do not be rude or cocky or arrogant because it's good to be confident. Just don't let it cross the line over to being rude, right? Being underqualified, nowadays the landscape has changed when it comes to the recruitment world or the workplace in general. Because before, usually people would ask you, how many years of experience do you have, right? Before even having your face to face interview. Now, especially here at ADP, we actually encourage fresh hires or fresh graduates to apply because we want to be part of your growth and we want to be able to develop your skills. We want you to grow with us. So being underqualified, if you don't have any experience, that's no reason to worry or to fear. Being late, once again, I mentioned earlier, that's really something that's within your control. Please make sure that you have prepared and that you're going to be early or that you leave ahead of time if it's face to face. Even if it is virtual, what can you do to avoid being late, to avoid having those internet connection problems? You have to have contingency plans. You have to make sure that you have backup data or backup internet so that you will be able to still go through with the interview without any hitch at all. Not knowing the answer or not knowing the answer to the interviewer's question. Yes, I know that's a little bit frightening, right? It causes anxiety, but don't you worry because the recruiter just wants to have a conversation with you to get to know you. So make sure that you are transparent. If you don't know the answer to that, that's okay. Do not make up answers to questions that you do not know. It's better if you say, I can research on that, or actually, it's better if you prepare ahead of time once again. Like if the company or if the recruiter asks you, what do you know about our company? If you say, actually, I don't know anything about it. Well, again, that's not a very good sign that you are interested in the job. Because if you are, then definitely you would have done your due diligence or your research prior to your initial interview. So these are the common interview fears. Now, what can we do to make sure that we are aware of the things or we are aware that we are having these anxious feelings or the nerves before the interview or during the interview? Some of it are physical manifestations, and there are some mental manifestations there, like shaking legs, feeling nauseous for physical, shortness of breath, sweaty palms, racing heartbeat, cold feet, dry throat, breathing difficulty, and poor coordination. For the mental aspect of it, of course, you would have your negative thinking, difficulty concentrating, emotional flatness, irrational thoughts, and moodiness. All these things affect the outcome of your interview, especially the mental part. Because if it's physical, you can definitely address that easily, right? Shaking legs, you just try to put your hands on your palms. If you're feeling nauseous, try to breathe, pause, and take a deep breath. If you have sweaty palms, then make sure you always have a handkerchief. But Kat, how do we manage or handle our mental manifestations of anxiety? Negative thinking, what can you do? Right? You have to prep yourself up for success. You have to be your number one biggest cheerleader because I firmly believe in the law of attraction. Whatever you put out there in the universe, you manifest. Instead of thinking that you're going to fail, might as well think that, hey, I'm going to succeed. Visualize it. Visualize that you're already working at the company. Think about your first day at work. That's how you prep yourself up for success, along, of course, with proper preparation. Difficulty concentrating, if you have a lot of distractions, make sure that you eliminate those. How? Just try to remove your gadgets if it's a virtual interview, or even if it's face to face. Do not fidget with your phone. Do not answer calls. Make sure that your phone is on silent or on vibrate so that it doesn't distract you and it doesn't interrupt the flow of the conversation, right? So these are the things that you would have to watch out for, because awareness is the first step. If you are aware that you're feeling these things, that you can definitely handle them better, because these are the quick remedies that you can do. We talked about the physical and the emotional manifestations or mental manifestations. So let's talk about the quick remedies, because there's always a way to manage those. First of all, if you have nervous mannerisms, if you keep it touching your face and your hair, make sure that you control your gestures. You keep your hands visible or take a pen to keep them busy, but please do not fidget with a pen. Just hold it if you really have to. But for me, it's best if you just put your hands on your lap, right? That works better than fidgeting with a pen. Closed body position. Please do not have this posture during the interview. You have your arms and your legs crossed, because it signifies that you are it gives the impression that you're being defensive or closed off, right? And you don't want the recruiter to feel that. So relax and find your best sitting position. I would suggest that you also work on your posture. Do not slouch. If you slouch, then your confidence is going to be low. Make sure that you're sitting upright or that you have good posture, because it adds to your self esteem. Sweaty palms, of course, you have your handkerchief or your wipe. For that voice, if your voice trembles, take a deep breath to relax, right? And if you have a dry mouth, if possible, if it is a virtual interview, then you can definitely take a sip of your water, because that should help with your nerves. And if you're finding it hard to concentrate on the questions that the recruiter is asking you, then definitely you can ask questions. Remember, I told you have to be honest, you have to be truthful. So do not make up stories. Make sure that if you really do not understand the question, or if you're having trouble comprehending, you can ask questions to structure your thoughts and to understand the recruiter better. If you're stumbling over your words, that means that you're speaking too fast. So slow down and do not underestimate the power of the pause. Pause, pause, pause. Now blinking. If you blink several times or so fast in less than 1 minute, then that's going to be a little bit creepy, right? It can be creepy. So yes, keep your eye contact, but do not stare. What do they say? Staring is rude. So if you are one of those people who are so nervous that you cannot keep eye contact, the best way to practice that is to do a mock call with your friend. And if you really cannot look in the eyes for a long time, try to look at their forehead, because that will give the impression that you're looking at the recruiter, even if you're not really staring into their eyes. Those are the quick remedies, and I hope that you'll be able to remember and apply those when it comes to your first job interviews. And now we go to some of the relaxation techniques, because these are going to be helpful prior to your interview, right? You prep yourself, you make sure that you're in the right mood, and you can do some of these things. Now, don't think that, hey, I should do all of it, or don't force yourself. If visualization is not for you, do not force it. It's not one size fits all. What works for me might not work for you. So if you are someone who doesn't really enjoy visualization or trying to have the image in their mind, maybe you can go for breathing techniques or listening to music. Listening to music, does it have to be always classical or soft melodies? No. If you are into rock and that helps you relax, then so be it, right? Find what works for you and do that. Okay, it's like your tool belt. You have a tool belt, you have your tools, you take it out, whichever one is appropriate and whichever one will work. If you visualize again the successful interview, or even better, your first month at work already, your first year at work, so that you will manifest it. And it also it is a way to rehearse your interview answers if you practice and if you do mock calls. listening to music. Again, this some people are really doing this. Music helps them relax. So prior to your interview, you can listen to whatever type of music you want. And if you think power posing is corny, Kat, why would I do that? Why would I pose like a superhero? You don't have to do that. Or you can practice breathing exercises. Just hold your breath for 4 counts and then release, right? So those are the things that will help you manage or battle your anxiety. It's very doable, pretty easy, and pretty also, let's say, practical. These are the things that you can do to manage your stress and anxiety. Other than that, I will also give you some of the things that will help you really prepare for the questions in your interview. And just to show you an idea of how the selection is for ADP's recruitment, first of all, this is the funnel that we follow. The recruitment starts, of course, when we post the vacancies, whether it be through Jobs 180 or any other platform. You will see the job opening, then you will submit your resume, and there would come the screening or testing. Screening would mostly be the resume, right? We screen your resumes, and then for testing, in prior pandemic, in the world before pandemic, we used to have those tests, the psychological tests. But now we don't usually do it, or we do it after you've already passed the final interview. And when it comes to screening, we have the initial phone screening done by our sourcing team. We make sure that you are aware of the job conditions, of the work conditions, and that you are amenable to them. So if you pass it, if your comm skills are great, and if you are qualified, then you go to the next level, which is the initial interview with the recruiter. Nowadays, recruitment is still being done virtually or over the phone. So just to give you an idea, just to give you a heads up, if you ever apply in the future, that might change and we might go back to face-to-face interviews. For job simulation, usually for ADP, that happens when you're already nesting. So after training, you have your mock calls before you even go to production, because we believe on setting you up for success. So you want to make sure that you have all the tools, all the knowledge that you would need for you to be able to take the calls successfully and efficiently. Now, what is targeted selection interviews, Kat? It's the first time that I've heard of it. Before, you would hear questions like those out of the blue questions, or let's say out of this world questions, like how would you sell ice to an Eskimo, right? So those things that test your creativity and the way that you would answer them. But for ADP, we want to know your previous experiences. If you are a student, if you just graduated, rest assured that it will be about your experiences at school. We want to make sure that we know all of those things that you've already handled. We drill down to the basics and the details. That's what's important. So we will talk about the STAR method in a bit, because that's how we usually want interviewers, or interviewees rather, applicants, to answer the questions. Job offer, if you pass the initial interview and then you're going to be endorsed to the final interview of the hiring manager. If you successfully pass that and the test, then you'll be endorsed for the job offer. And then after that, voila, it's going to be your first day at ADP. So it's pretty simple. The process is not tedious at all, and we want to make it so easy and seamless for applicants. But Kat, I'm still nervous about the questions because I am not familiar with targeted selection interviews. Great thing, now I will show you how you would answer that question. But before doing that, what are the things that you would really need to remember? First of all, the impact of the interview. Be at your best when it comes to attire. I think this goes without saying, right? You have to dress for success. You have to make sure that you are properly attired. We don't expect that you will be in your suit and tie or tuxedo or barong, but make sure that it is business casual, or at least smart business casual, because once again, that also indicates your level of commitment. If you have prepared for it, if you are dressed well, then we already know that, hey, this person really is serious about this job. Not only that, if you are dressed for success, then it will definitely help boost your self-confidence. So that's gonna help you with your nerves if you know that, hey, I look good in this, right? Now, know the position in the company. This is one of my pet peeves as a recruiter, because, like I said earlier, when I ask applicants, hey, why do you want to apply at ADP? I get answers like, I need a job because I need a job, Cat. Yes, that's a given. You need a job. That's why you're applying. But what is it about ADP that caught your attention? What is it about the company that you think you like? Right? What was your reason for applying? What do you know about us? So beforehand, prior to applying, make sure that you do your due diligence. I cannot stress this enough. And it's very simple. You don't have to go into the nitty gritty like your company was established in 1946. No need for the historics or no need for the details, the dates, or the history. Just make sure that we know what we are. You know what we are as a company, what our values are, and how we help our clients, because those are the critical information to have. Now, you also have to prepare for scenario explanations. Scenario explanations, like I mentioned earlier, it's targeted. It's all about your what? Not the theories, not the concepts that you learned in school, but actually your concrete experiences. You're going to be asked about things that you've already encountered, and you're going to be asked to elaborate on those. So prepare for those scenario explanations and prepare for your examples. Follow the interviewer's lead. What does that mean? If your interviewer is trying to build rapport with you, please do not be stiff like a robot, right? Because now reviewers, interviewers are very, very, I wouldn't say casual, but they try to make you feel at ease. No, gone are the days when you have your interviewers who are like Miss Minchin or principals, because you fear them, right? They're so strict, they're so formal and uptight. Nowadays, the recruiter would try to make you or to get you to open up, and you have to follow their lead. If they're trying to build rapport, just try as much as possible to answer those questions not only with one liners or with yes or no, try to be more forthcoming with your answers. But do not, of course, cross the line. There are some taboos, like, of course, you would know not to make green jokes or anything of those nature, of those kind. Always keep it professional. Now that we've talked about the impact, let's try to practice what I have promised you earlier, which is the STAR method, so that it gets easier for you to anticipate the questions and to prepare for your answers. STAR method is simply the situation or the task, the action, and the result. When you're asked a situational question, make sure that you answer in the past tense, because again, it focuses on past experiences. Do not say I will do this, or if I were in that situation. It's not rhetorical, it's not theoretical. Make sure that you already tell the recruiter what happened in the past and how you handled that. What really was the situation? What were you asked to do? What did you do, or how did you handle it, and how did it end, or what was the end result? Now, to practice, I'm going to give you some sample questions. For instance, if you were asked this, tell me about a time when you needed to complete several things at the same time. What did you do to get the work done? You don't say, oh, I try to multitask, because that's not enough. Or I'm very good at managing my time. Okay, that may be well and good, but how? How did you do it? We're interested about the details to make sure that you really were able to manage your time wisely. So instead of just saying, I will multitask, or I have done multiple tasks before, what you can do is to answer in this way. Don't think that it is wordy. It is not. It's just actually going to take a couple of minutes to answer like this, and all of the details are already here. Every morning before the store opens, there's a lot to do to get it ready: restocking, cleanup, taking markdowns, and things like that. Last week, 2 people called off sick on the same day, so we had even more prep work than usual. What is that? What did you already give the recruiter? That's already the situation and the task. See, only with 2 sentences, you were able to handle the situation and the task already. So I prioritize the work based on what would have the greatest impact on customers. Restocking, cleanup, things like that. What is that? That would already be your action. What did you do? How did you handle it? Right? So you prioritize things like restocking, cleanup, and things like that. And then after that, you did the lower priority things during the day as you had the time. What is the result, I ask you? The result is, in the end, the store was fully stocked and looking good when we opened. You might ask me, Kat, does it have to be in order? What if I already gave the action and the result, and I forgot to say the situation or the task, that's fine. It doesn't have to be in order. So long as the four components are there, then you're still good. It can be mixed. You can mix up the order no matter in whichever way you are more comfortable with, so long as the four are there: situation, task, action, and result. Another example: what have you done to make your team more efficient and organized? Here is your answer. What is the action here? Or, sorry, the situation and the task? Is it the first sentence? Let me ask you. Try to think, put your thinking caps on. Is the first sentence your situation or task? The answer to that is no, right? I told you it doesn't have to be in order. So the situation actually is in the middle of this answer. The person I replaced had only trained the most experienced people in these things. So when one of them didn't make it to work, we had more tasks than people trained to do them. Now, what is the action? It is the first sentence. I cross-trained the team in all the responsibilities of running the store, including opening and closing and balancing the register. And where is your result? Ta-da! That hasn't happened since people have been cross-trained. Every team member has said that their jobs are more interesting now and easier to do. See? So everything is there, all the components, even if it's not in order. And what do you know? Your recruiter would know how you handle pressure-filled situations, right? They would know that instead of saying, oh, I don't really buckle under stress, you have painted a picture of how you're able to be cool and calm, collected under stress or situations that are high pressure, right? So you paint the picture, you just don't use your words. And that's what the STAR method is. Pretty easy, again, basic, it's not rocket science. I'm sure that you would do it at first. Probably it's not going to come naturally. You might feel that, hey, I'm forcing this, but that's okay. With practice, the more that you do it, the better you'll be at it and the more natural it will sound. So don't give up. If at first you find it awkward, just practice, 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 and it's going to get better. It's going to sound more natural and it's going to become a habit for you to answer in the STAR format, right? Now, let's go to, we're almost at the home stretch. I just want to give you some advice on words to avoid. And these are easy. Please don't, or at least try to minimize these words and or completely remove it from your vocabulary if you can. Usually, generally, we, I believe, I think, I wouldn't have, and next time. Usually, generally, those can be fillers, right? Those can be crutch words. You're just using them to delay or as a delaying tactic because you're still thinking of what to say next. So if you use it so frequently, then it becomes a crutch word or a filler, which can be very distracting. And why would you use usually and generally anyway, right? It does not add any value to your answers or to your sentences. Now, why you shouldn't use we? It's very simple. It's for ownership. We. Who's there with you in the interview? Only yourself. So instead of saying we, say I. I did this. I was able to manage this task by doing this and that. Ownership. You sound more confident and you sound more credible. I believe, I think it's the same case, right? Because if you say I believe or I think, you sound very unsure. You don't sound as if you really know what you are talking about. I wouldn't have don't talk about your regrets or don't talk about the next time because once again, we want to know what you've already done, how you have addressed the situation, what you have learned from it, yes, but how you did manage it and how you overcame your challenges. That's what's important to us. So now that you know the words to avoid, I would like to talk to you about wrapping up the interview, and this would be our closing because some of you might think, yes, I should ask questions. Do not ask questions just for the sake of asking questions. Make sure that the question that you ask is still relevant. It's good. It signifies that you're really interested in getting the job, but we would know if you're just asking for the sake of asking. So here are some of the questions that you can use. How much guidance is made available to individuals, or what are your 30, 60, 90-day plan for me, right? How would I get career development? That's usually one of the best questions to ask. How will I be measured? What are the metrics? Or what commonalities do you find in your top performers? How do you measure them? What are you looking for, right? And what are the things that your top performers do to make sure that they are successful? So if you ask those, the interviewer would think, this person is really interested, this person is really committed, and they're asking the smart question. So that should help beef up trust, and that should help beef up your credibility with your interviewer. So now that we've talked about all of the steps in the interview process, I just want to give you guys, in closing, some final tips. And these are easy to remember. A smile and a strong handshake will make you look and feel confident. A smile, really, believe me, a smile goes a long, long way. Strong handshake, if it's not possible because it's virtual, that's fine. Just smile. It's the easiest to control, right? So it makes you feel more approachable. It makes you feel more pleasant and confident as well. Be your normal self, not your interview self. Do not think that, hey, I'm gonna put my best foot forward, because we have ways of knowing if you are being truthful. That's how the targeted selection interview questions are designed to be. We would know if you are making up stories or if you are really being untruthful. So it's best to be yourself, best to be transparent. Do not just answer, or do not just give us the answers that you think we want. Give us the answers that are truthful and honest. Think of the interview as a conversation. Yes, it is a two-way conversation. The recruiter is trying to get to know you if you're going to be a good fit for the company. Because, yeah, you need the job, the employer needs you too. It might not be as much as you do because you have your financial worries or financial responsibilities, but we also are always on the lookout for qualified candidates. So you want to make sure that we get the right talent into the company. Now, even if you fail, there is plenty of other job options. Do not get disheartened. Do not be too hard on yourself and say, oh, I didn't make it. I failed my first interview. That's normal. That's okay. Just dust yourself up and try it again. Take it, no matter how bad the interview is, take it as a learning experience. It is a good learning experience because then you just get better and better. So do not get disheartened, do not lose hope. And I'm sure that if you take everything that you've learned from your previous interviews, no matter how bad you think they are, then you are going to be successful and a company will want to work with you. All right. So that concludes our topic for today. We have talked about the objectives. When we started, we said that we're going to share tips so that you'll be better equipped for your future job interviews as well as your interview guidelines. And we also talked about these things: fears, anxiety, quick remedies, your relaxation techniques, the selection funnel, interview tips, star, the words to avoid, of course, the final tip. So I guess now would be a great time to open the floor for any questions.
All right. Thank
If
you
you
so much.
have, oh,
Thank you so
sure,
much, Miss Kat.
not a problem.
Ako po ba yung nag-feedback? Ayan. So, thank you so much po. So, the topic is well discussed. Um, parang wala nang question kasi sabi ni Miss Kat, so do not ask question for the sake of asking question. So, ayan. So,
Ah,
joke lang, ma'am. So,
it's okay.
Paulinians, if you have questions, you may ask now, Miss Kat. So, table is now open for questions. Ayan. So, while waiting for questions, ma'am, so, I have a question here. So, let me check my ano po. Ayan. So, guys, ask na kayo ng question. Last speaker na natin si Miss Kat for today. Tapos after this, ayan, closing program na tayo. So, ibata nyo na lahat ng questions nyo na gusto nyong itanong for this session. Ayan. So, one moment na. Ayan. Air. Okay. So, I have questions ma'am pala for the so na-ask na rin namin ito before sa iba pang speakers. So the CHED po released a memo po, di ba, for the graduating students, yung 2021 today graduating students na they will not have their internships, on-site internships. So, if meron man po virtual internship, so yung pagkakaroon po ba or yung hindi pagkakaroon ng internship will affect po the applicant's profile.
Okay. So you're asking if it will leave a bad impression
Yes.
for the employers. It won't. It won't, because it's very understandable. We know that the times have changed. These are tough and challenging times. So we wouldn't take it against the graduates if they did not have any internship or face-to-face internship. But the good thing is that a lot of companies or some companies are already offering virtual internships, right? So if they really want to, for instance, they can apply at ADP because we also accommodate interns. We actually give experiences for HR. Our interns are endorsed to do HR stuff like recruitment, sourcing, and trying to call out people so that they will get an idea as well of how to be the interviewers. And then if they know that, then the interviews, their future interviews would be easier because they know how the flow is or how it
Mm-mm.
is to have the interview. So no, it would not be taken against them. Don't worry
Mm.
about that.
All right. So I actually know some of graduating students kasi so they're asking and they're worried na ate anong mangyayari, what will happen, baka 'di ba merong mas edge yung mga merong experience and nag-intern on-site, so habang kami walang internship pero or yung iba virtual lang. So okay naman po pala with the companies. And we have
Yes.
question po from audience. Ms. Kat, if I fail to answer an interview question, what would you normally answer?
If you fail to answer one of the questions, or if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know the answer yet, is that what you're asking? If you don't know the answer to the question,
Can
you
you
can
repeat?
simply say,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, you can say that you're gonna be researching on that. You're interested in the answer too, and I would like to find that out after the interview. Something like that. So you don't have to worry if you don't know. If it's technical really, then you have to make sure that you still give the impression that you are knowledgeable. You just haven't encountered that technical question. So you can say, I'm going to research on that, or I'm going to study that, I'm going to practice that after the interview. And I am very willing to learn because that's one of the things that we are looking for. Any employer is looking for. It's the willingness to learn. So if you don't know yet, just try to give the assurance that you will find the answer to that question.
Mm-mm. And as Miss Kat mentioned naman, di ba, you may ask again the interviewer to repeat the question or to rephrase the question para to better understand the question if you cannot di
Yes,
ba, first time.
correct.
So another question po is confidence in something that the applicants should have or possess during interviews po. So, is being overconfident a bad thing or a good thing?
I like that question. There is such a thing as being arrogant, right?
Mm-mm.
If you are confident, it's good. It's good. Because being confident simply means that you know your skills, you are confident with your abilities. Now, if you keep bragging, if you have already crossed the line into bragging and being arrogant or cocky, then yes, that's definitely a bad thing. It will give a bad impression. If you also give the impression that hey, I know everything, I don't need to learn or change my ways anymore, then that might put off the recruiter from hiring you, because we are always looking for people who are open to feedback and open to new learnings. If you give the impression that hey, I know everything already, I'm too good for this, or I'm already good enough and I wouldn't change anything, yes, that would be a very very bad sign, because it just means that the applicant is not willing to learn.
Alright. So, ako may question din ako. What would be your tip po for the applicants na madalas nag-ghosting kung kailan nandun na sila sa final stage? For example, job offer po, no? Doon sila biglang nawawala, hindi mo na maramdaman. Okay. So, ano po ba yung mga pwede nating sabihin sa mga aplikante na 'to?
Wait, who's ghosting? The applicant or the employer?
The applicants po.
Ah, the applicant. Oh my. Oh yes. Yeah, we have encountered those
Mhm.
things. What I will say is that at least have the courtesy to inform your recruiter, because that's the very least that you can do. If you already have another job offer, if you choose to go with another company, that's okay. That's very understandable. But ghosting is really a sign of disrespect, right? Because you're just vanishing out of thin air and we don't know what happened to you. So instead of
Mhm.
ghosting, just give us just a quick text, a quick email. It doesn't have to be long. Just say that I'm sorry, but I would have to rescind my application, or I'm sorry, I chose to go with another company. Because you never know. You never know in this industry, you might reapply again, right? You might need us for an
Mm-mm.
internship or for a future reference. So instead of burning your bridges, at least do it with grace and with courtesy. That's the least that we can do, right? Always try to remain respectful and try to give the respect due to the company because we also do that for you. Imagine if we're the ones who ghosted you, right? If we don't give you any idea of how the process is already, or if you pass or you fail, you wouldn't want that. So it goes both ways.
All right,
Just
thank you.
common courtesy.
I see. So, all right. So, thank you, ma'am.
Pwede
So,
po ba? Pwede na po ilagay. Ah, okay.
okay. For,
I
ano
thought
pa,
it
for
was a
the students,
question.
yes, ma'am. Okay,
All
so,
right.
all right, ma'am. So, before we end, do you have the opening or vacancies po for the interested applicants po? Galing Polinians.
Yes, yes. For the job vacancies, what we're looking for really are operations analysts. So, like I mentioned before, I don't want to say that we are a call center because we're not. We are
Mm-hmm.
an in-house company and we don't work with third-party providers. We're actually just working with ADP clients. We stand as their HR. So if you apply with us, you're going to be their HR practitioner. You're going to help them with payroll, with compensation, with benefits. There are a lot of things that you can learn. But please keep in mind that it's going to be also at night because our clients are in the US, so we have to follow their schedule. And the operations analyst would need to take in calls. So those are the only requirements really. If you think that you can handle that, then definitely please do apply through Jobs 180.
Any courses naman po, ma'am, you can apply po.
Yes, yes, we definitely welcome any course,
All
even if
right.
it's tech, IT, or whatnot.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Kat. Thank you so much po
You're
for joining
welcome.
us today.
Thanks as
You
well,
may proceed
Joyce.
now. Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Thank you.
So,
Have a good day. Bye,
thank you,
everybody.
ma'am. All right, so there you have it. So if you're interested, guys, to apply at ADP, so you may visit jobs180.com/ADP. Okay, so again, that's jobs180.com/ADP. So you may send your resume link na to them. Okay, so all right, so to officially close our program for today, so may we invite Ms. Maria Cecilia Antonio, guidance counselor and in charge for career and placement services, for the closing remarks, some announcements, and closing prayer.
Hello. Can
Hi, Ms.
everybody hear
Cecilia.
me po?
Yes, ma'am, loud and clear.
Thank you so much po, Miss Joyce. Good afternoon to all. So may I remind all Polinian students to answer the evaluation form for today's webinar. This is for your attendance and to monitor your insights regarding the seminar, the webinar. It is in the comment section of Judge 180 and it should be also be posted at the St. Paul University FB page. So this eval form will be accepting responses until 5 p.m. today only. So the Jobs 180 link is a requirement. So before we sign your clearance for graduation, you have to give us your resume link for us to check it. So if you have inquiries regarding our unit or other services of our unit, just email us at guidance@spumanila.edu.ph and follow and like our Facebook page, SPU Manila Guidance for updates. So for to close our webinar, I would, on behalf of our unit, the Counseling and Career and Placement Services, headed by Mr. AJ Agoho, our coordinator, and to all of the Polinian community, headed by our university president, Sister Evangeline Anastasia SPC, we would like to send our big thanks to our partner in today's career education webinar, jobs180.com, and to Mr. Kim Chua, Managing Director. We would also like to express gratitude to our esteemed resource speakers, Ms. Luis Resho of FactSet and Ms. Kat Herrera of ADP Philippines. Thank you po for sharing your time and for sharing your valuable knowledge to our students. This certainly has been very beneficial for us, and I hope that our students learned a lot as well. So let us conclude this webinar or this event with a prayer. So let us pray the closing prayer in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty Father, may you bestow your blessings as we find our true paths in life. May you help us be brave in facing difficulties and challenges and be accepting of your will as well as your plans for us. We are always thankful for your presence in everything that we do and in the decisions that we will make. We will never walk alone, Lord. Lord, we pray for your guidance that we may see clarity and meaning to our careers and to our life. Amen. Saint Paul, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you again. Stay safe and have a blessed Christmas. Bye.
Alright, thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Miss
po.
Cecil. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, ma'am, for collaborating with Jobs 180. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
po.
so
And
much
thanks for
po sa
AVU.
inyo.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All right, guys. So for Polinians, do not forget to evaluate this event. So the link is flashed on your screen and also available at the comment section. So you have two po attendance for today. So one is yung galing kay Jobs 180, yung link na galing kay Jobs 180. And then two is yung itong evaluation link na galing kay Miss Cecil or galing sa guidance office niyo mismo. So again, don't forget, one, yung galing kay Jobs 180, and then two, yung galing sa SPU mismo, yung evaluation. So, parehas po yan. Kailangan yung i-fill. So, we would like to thank each one of you guys for staying all throughout the event. We would like to thank especially Ms. Cecil and Mr. EJ Agoho po for collaborating with Jobs 180, with Guidance Office and the Career and Placement Services Office po. Thank you so much po. Ayan. And of course, we would like to thank also the following sponsors. So we would like to thank VXI Optum CO for being our corporate sponsors for this event. So you may also check out their page for career opportunities, or you may visit jobs180.com, www.jobs180.com for more career opportunities. So please watch out for the next set of webinars we are going to host for. Please check out our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed. And you are welcome, guys, to join in on those sessions too. So the program has finally concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katikutan. See you soon and have a great afternoon. Ingat!
The clinical trial market as we know it is about to change. We're revolutionizing the current state aligned to disparate, slow, and often manual processes. Optum's vision is to transform the drug development process to one that is centered and grounded in real-world patient behavior and physician practice. Optum's ability to access this unique network and fold in the strongest data and analytics expertise will enable us to jointly bring life-saving drugs to the patients who need it most. Join us in this partnership to bring our shared vision for real-time, real-world healthcare research for real patients.